Bo. Uh, yeah. So, Kansa Tangbo, first person. Tashi Dele, sitting la. So this we have already learned. We learned about the greetings during our first class. Our first class was on greetings. Second class was on how to ask for someone's name and how to introduce yourself by giving your name to someone. So that was the second class. And the third class here, we're going to use some of these. So we have actually learned both of these, and it will be very wonderful if we could use these in our day-to-day life. So the first person, tashi dele sitting la. So we know that lak is just a added particle that we use as a form of respect or a honor or honorific while saying someone's name. So here the person's name is sitting. But if you add lak with sitting, it becomes an honorific. So tashidele sitting la. So it says sitting la tashidele. We've already gone through with the meaning of tashidele. It was my own take on the very meaning of the particular phrase. So we have already gone through that. So 강사 당보, first person. So after the class, let me just give you a brief explanation on the literal meaning of this very term that's 강사, but in a very literal meaning. So nothing too deep about it. It's just a meaning of the exact word. So word definition after the lesson. So 뜻이 되래 스링라 뜻이 되래 스링라 뜻이 되래 스링라. So this is greeting someone, and then 강사님바, second person. 뜻이 되래 뜻이라 구kam상. So we see that here we have the second greeting. That's more of like a greeting by which we are praying for someone or we're wishing someone a good health. So 뜻이 되래 뜻이라 구kam상. So because the name of the first person here, we have designated it as Tashi. So Tashi dele, Tashila, Kukamsang. So we have already discussed that Kukam is the honorific of the word Sukham, which means the physical state of the body. So which means the more physical state of a person. So Kukamsang. Tashi dele, Tashila, Kukamsang. So whenever you're speaking, there's this one thing that's universal with every language. You must speak slowly, and you must be able to use the punctuations correctly and try to sound as clear as possible. The clearer you sound, the better it will sound to the person that's listening. So, 뜻이 되래, 뜻이라, 구kam상. So you see that here what I'm doing is I'm trying to speak slowly, as well as I'm trying to make a pause between tashila and kukamsan so that the person will be able to hear his name, her name, and then they will be able to hear the greeting as well. So tashi dele, tashila, kukamsan. So tashi dele is the greeting, and tashila, tashi, the name of the person that we are addressing. La is the honorific that we use. It's a particle of honorific that we use while addressing someone. And kukamsang means good health to you. It's a greeting, but a prayer or a wish to the person that we're addressing. We're saying, I wish upon you a good health, which in this context is just the physical health. So kukamsang. Lao. Saying Kukam, so Kansa Tangbo, the first person who is Tashi, Kukamsang. So when someone wishes us good health, we wish them back good health. Kukamsang. Siring lala taring chuwashi yue. Kukamsang. Siring lala taring chuwashi yue. Kukamsang. Siring lala taring chuwashi yue. So here we say, okay, so I wish good health to you too. So we don't necessarily have to use the particle that says to in this very situation or the context. Just by saying the same greeting back has the inferential. It has the inferential meaning of wishing them to a good health. So the to is more inferential rather than being apparent here. So it's not written apparently, but it is more inferential. So good health to you too. So kukamsang, la. So kukamsang, when we say kukamsang, so we're saying good health to you too, where the to is not written as a particle. We have a particle for to, which if most of you are interested, we'll discuss in our grammar class later in October. But at this very phrase that is kukamsang, it is inferential. So not apparent, but inferential. So yes, tering and taring are both same. It's it's more of a written here. It's taring, and te is more a colloquial influence. So let me just write here. So thank you for the question. Wonderful. So is it in Tibetan? No, it's in English. So let me get the Tibetan keyboard here. Lesson. So here we have tering. We have tering. So please check the chat where I'm writing. So I'm just writing some variation of today. So these are all correct. So you can write it in this way. So it's correct. So taring tiwa shigyu. Taring means today, and tiwa means question. Shik means a or one. So it's Tashi is saying a good health to you too, Taringla. Today I have a question for you. So I have a question. So it means I have a question, and definitely since it is directed towards Tsiringla, so Tashi has a question for Tsiringla. So Tsiringla, I have a question. Today I have a question for you. Okay, so whenever someone is saying that they have a question, you can respond by saying, so Kangsa second person is responding as Lao Songtang. So here I have used honorific in both of these portions. Lao is a more respectful way of saying, oh, okay, or okay. So sometimes you may hear this more casual form of this. It is, oh, yeah. So I think that most of you have heard this. It's yeah. So this is more casual way of saying, okay, yeah, which means and then there is going more towards the colloquial and the more regional dialect. We have low, so it's lao ho, but it's more being influenced by the oh, sorry, there is a missing kiku, so this is tiwa. So this here, this particular thing here, I'm very sorry, there's a missing kiku here. Tiwa and tawa are totally different thing. Tiwa is question and tawa is another way of saying writing the word net, N-E-T, net. So this is incorrect, so I'm very sorry for that. So it's tiwa with kiku. Okay, let me go back. Yes, so it's tiwa, it's with the kiku. So I'll make sure that everyone gets the corrected the correct one. So 다링 좋아시게 with a kigu. So emphasizing on that because this particular file has it wrong here. I don't have the kigu here. So very sorry for that. So 구컴사 치링라 라타링 좋아시게, which means good health to you too. And 치링라, today I have a question for you. For you is more inferential here, not apparent. Lawa, which is a more respectful way of saying, okay, 송당. Song is the honorific of the word she. So as we are going through the text, if some of these are new, so what I'll do is that I'll just write it at the end of the lesson so that we can have honorifics. We can also study a little bit of honorifics. It would be wonderful if you could learn the honorifics. So, lao 송당. So 송당, 당 here is a particle which is requesting someone. So 당 is a imperative particle. It actually is more than imperative. Sometimes it works as a conjunction, but in some cases where it follows a verb, so we see that sung is to speak, or to tell, or to ask. We see that it's a verb, an action word, as per in Tibetan. We call it as an action word. Chasik, chawetsik, chawa, meaning action. Tsik, meaning word. So let me just write it down here. So I hope that it's not too much information. If I'm going in too much detail and you feel like I should just cut down some of the details, please tell me. Okay, honorifics are the more respectful and more formal way of saying something. So, for example, in the more casual or non-formal setting, we will use certain language, and in more formal setting, we will use a different language. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make the formal language to be more normal, you know. So this is something that is here. There are two things that's happening. First is that I'm trying to make the written language to be more normal, a norm, as well as honorifics to be more of a norm that people would speak. So in my conversation class, it will be really greatly influenced by both the grammatical structure, which is of the written language, as well as the honorifics, which is the more formal way of speaking. So these two things will be very much influencing the structure of sentence, though I will also provide the more informal, casual way of saying it. But most of the classes will focus on the more formal way of saying it, more the more using of the honorifics. In Tibetan, we have honorifics for most of the words, including things like things to eat, parts of the body. So we have honorifics for that, so that it is more respectful, and it's to be honest, when you listen to the more casual way of speaking, the colloquial way of speaking, you will see that even in regional dialect, you see that some of the regional dialect are more of influenced by the written language, like the most eastern part of Tibet. We have Kham. We see that many of the words that they use in their day-to-day life is very much influenced by both the old language from the old translation. Tibetan language has gone through three major language revolution. So therefore, the first the eastern part of Tibet, which is of the Kham, is very much influenced by the first translation, whereas the central is very much influenced by the latest translation. And the central Tibet, especially Lhasa, is very much influenced by the honorific, because that was the place where the main government and the administrative system was established. So there were many big government officials going here and there in the market, and people would address them using the honorific. So it was very much influenced in those places. Whereas in the places of Eastern Tibet, of Kham, the honorifics doesn't play a vital role as much as the old translation and the written language. So this is something that you will actually observe. Lasso. And so therefore, here we are trying to use as much honorific as possible. So Lao, Sung Tang. So Lao is a more respectful way of saying it, and Sung is the honorific of the word She, Lap. I think some of you might have heard this word Lap or She. So Lap Tang, She Tang. Lap Tang, to say, to speak, to ask, or She, to say, to speak, or ask, and Sung being the honorific. Now you may say that, oh, Sung is honorific. I get that. So what about Lab and She? Is there a difference between Lab and She? Yes, Lab is a colloquial, it's a more casual way of saying to say, whereas She is also a written language. So it's as per with the written language. So that's the difference between She and Lab. And the difference between She and Sung is She is the more casual way of saying it, even if it's written, and Sung is the honorific of that particular word. Okay, so it says Lao Sungda, which means okay, please ask away, or please ask. Kena payu kanginam. So here we see that ke rang is the honorific of you. Payul is the fatherland. Kangin means where. So here Kang can sometimes be translated as what. But here, since it is inquiring about a place, it becomes where. If it's inquiring about a person or a thing, then Kang will become what. But since here it's inquiring about a place, it becomes where. So where is your fatherland? So father. So it's asking about the hometown, where the person is from. Okay, 강산이바. 네 파윤이 그 샤초 캄 달게 봄 달게 괜히. So here the person is answering. So it's saying 네 파윤이 그 샤초 캄 달게 괜히. So it's so Tsering is saying my fatherland is Targil Gumba in the eastern Tibet in the Kham province. So saying that my fatherland, or the place from where my father or the generation of my father's family come from is the Targil Gun. It's a place. It's a place in the eastern Tibet in the Kham province. So normally when we use the sentence after Payuni, so you will have to say your own hometown, where you are from. So for example, if so let's say that you're from some let's say that you're from Switzerland, you'll say that near Payuni and Switzerland is, which means my fatherland is Switzerland. So, or in other case, if you say like, oh, you want to say that I'm from India, you'll say Nye Payuni Gyakari. So similarly, whichever hometown you're from, you have to say Nye Payuni, which means my fatherland. And then you can say whichever place you're from. So this is how you answer when someone is asking about where are you from. So there are different ways of asking. You may ask, where are you from? Where is your fatherland? Where is your hometown? Where is your home? Where is your village? So there are many ways of asking the same question. So here, this is the first way of asking. Uh, the most common one, actually. So whenever we ask for someone's hometown, we ask them, "Kinampayu kaina," which means, where is your fatherland? And then the person asks, the person answers, "Nye payu ni he shacho kam targe gönyi." So my fatherland is Targe Gumba in the eastern Tibet in the Kham province. So here you will have to use your own hometown, the name of your own hometown. So Nye Payuni, and then your hometown. So here we see that there is a variation of that very question. So after Kang, we have Sar. It's the same, it has the same meaning. So it means that where it means that Tashila, where is your fatherland? So it's asking for the person's hometown. So even though we see that there's a small addition of Kang, Sar, here, it means exactly the same as Kang. So Tashila, Payu Kang Sar Hinam. Tashila, where is your fatherland? So the person is inquiring back. So Kangsa Tangbo, first person, Nye Payu Pe Yu Hasarhin. So he says, Nye Payu. So the thing is that you can either use this particular particle, which is which acts as a to be particle. So it acts as a to be helping verb. Or you can just write it without this. So we see that in Tibetan language, we have these to be verb, but it's more lenient in the Tibetan structure, because sometimes similarly we have those other helping verbs, such as those verb. We also have those other particle that can be used as a particle that relates between something that is owned and someone that is owning it. But sometimes we just can, in some case, if there are so many particles used in a single sentence, we can skip those. So you see that here we have the similar particle here. So therefore, what we did is that we just skipped this particle here, ni. We didn't write the ni. So this is something that's more lenient in Tibetan language. You don't have to use all of the particle, though it is also correct if you use the particle. But sometimes if you have so many particles in a sentence, it just becomes too long, and it somewhat it feels uncomfortable when you read it. So Nye Payu Pe Yugi Hasarhin. So you can say Nye Payu and then your hometown, or you can say Nye Payu Ni and then your hometown. So you can either state this particle, or you can just leave this particle. Doesn't matter. So Nye Payu Pe Yugi Hasarhin says, my fatherland is Lhasa in the central Tibet. So this is how you ask for ask someone where they are from. And in other cases, you can also use you can also tell someone your own hometown. So here we see that to ask someone for their hometown, we say Keran Payu, or you can also add a particle here, Keran Ki Payu. So let me just write it down because it's much better. Keran Ki Payu Kang in Nam. So we can also add this this particle, which is ki. Here you see ki, kakyuki. And so so the thing is that in the spoken language, we have this. It's also in the written language. The thing is that if you have so many particles, In this, we don't have a lot. We have just 3 particles, ki, and then we have kang, and we have nam. So we see that in this case, we don't have a lot of particles, so we can add this particle. But in certain case, if you have so many particles in a sentence, you can just skip the particles. It doesn't matter. You can skip the very particles, just few of them. You cannot skip all of them. Some of the particles are mandatory, unlike some other particles, like this particle, as well as the particle, this particle. These are not exactly mandatory, though it's grammatically much better to use these, but sometimes it becomes very long when you write so many particles. So in those cases, you just skip 1 or 2 of these. So you say, can I pay kind, or can I give pay kind? So this is a way to ask someone for their hometown or where they have come from. So can I pay kind? Can I keep pay kind? So both of them are correct. You may use either one. And in this particular case, it's not that long of a sentence. So both of them sound very wonderful. So you may ask, can I pay you kind? Can I keep pay you kind? So where is your fatherland, or where is your hometown? So both of these are synonymous in Tibetan. So when you answer the question, you say, so kerang is a more honorific, more respectful way of saying you or yours. So here it's yours or yours, right? So yours or your. So kera when you ask someone, and nge. So last time we actually had some variation of nga, right? We could say nge, da ki, ku ki, if you want to be humble, not humble, if you want to be like, if you want to use the more humble one, a humble way, like for example, if you were talking to your guru or your teacher, or probably like someone that you need to show your respect, then you can say kuki. Or so the particle, it changes accordingly. So if it's nga, it becomes nge. If it's da, which also means I, it becomes ki. If it's ku, it becomes ki. So those who are interested why it changes, please join the grammar class later, so when we will be doing the grammar class, so you will know exactly why this change. But in any case, just knowing that it changes also helps a lot, you see. So if you want to particularly use the word nga, then you say nge payu. If you want to say dak, you can say dagi payu. If you want to say ku, you can say kugi payu. So dagi payu ni, nge payu ni, kugi payu ni. So you can use all of these pronouns for I. And so we see that we can use these pronouns for I, and then we can say nge payu ni. And then we see that in some cases, if the sentence becomes too long, this is not too long. When I mean when I mean too long, I mean a sentence that goes at least this long. You know, it has more than 15 or it has more than 15 or 20 divisions. When I say division, please look at this very point. This is known as the punctuation that divides a sentence into different syllables. So if it has more than 15 to 20 syllable, then it's too long. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's not that long. So though it comes near 15, still it won't be considered to be too long. If it crosses like 20, 25 syllable or division, then you should think, and if it has, and the other requirement that it may be long, and some sentence may be long, but it may not have that many particles. In that case, you can do nothing. You have to write the entire sentence as it is. But if that particular sentence has so many different particles, if it has many different particles, right? If it has many different particles, then you can opt to actually cancel. You can opt to actually take out some of these particles from the sentence so that it becomes a little shorter. But in any case, we may observe that some of these sentences are not that long. So in this case, you can say, so, and most of the time, when you're saying where you are from, the sentence doesn't become too long because it's nge payu ni. We have 4, and then you have the name of the country, which for some countries, if the name is long, it will be like 3 or 4 syllable. For some country, it's just 2 syllable, and in case of Tibet, it's just 1, which is pe. So, and then in, right? We discussed that since it's has to do with the first person here, therefore we'll use hin and not re. We won't say nge payu pe. We say nge payu pe hin, right? So this is something that we discussed last time. So and then when we answer, we say nge payu ni or nge payu. So you can either skip this particle, or you can use this particle and then use your use the name of the place where you're from, and then yin. Okay, so this is how you actually ask for ask someone where they are from, or tell someone where you are from. So now other ways of asking for one's hometown. So there are other ways sometimes to use more casual to do it more casually, to use more casual language. So the first variation would be kerang kang tu kerang nang kang tu yutam. So here it's similarly, it's the same. You can say kerang kinang. It if you want to be more grammatically correct, you can say kerang ki nang kang tu yutam. So kerang nang kang tu yutam or kerang ki nang kang tu yutam. Both of these are the same sentence. The difference is the addition of the particle. If you can see here, I have added this particle ki, but other than that, it's exactly the same sentence. So kerang nang kang tu yutam, kerang ki nang kang tu yutam. So it means where is your home? So this actually may come up as there may be questions related to that. Some may ask, oh, does it not mean where is your home, the current resident? And that's also correct. It may also mean the current resident. But normally when we say "Kena nang kang to you," we don't actually talk about the current resident, because it's more ingrained in our mind that when we say home, it means home. It doesn't mean the place we live right now, it means the place we come from. So that becomes the home, the hometown. So it's more ingrained in our way of thinking. Therefore, when we say nang, normally it doesn't mean, if you don't specifically mean the current resident. Normally, when we ask for a house, we say desa or dekang or kangba. We normally refer to that place. If it's a place like a house, which is not at the place that we come from, any house that is outside from the place where we come from, our hometown, our birthplace, any house it may be, we refer it as kangba, dekang, meaning it is a house. It's a house, we're currently living there, but this is not the home. You see? So even though it may seem that when we are using the word nang, it may seem that we may refer to the current place of residence, but it's more of a cultural thing that when we say nang, it has to be a place where we are born or where our family originates from. So, Kera nang kang to yutam, which means where is your home? But here, when we say home, we don't mean the current residence. We mean where you come from. Where is the place that you come from? So we say Nye nang phe to yu, which means my home is at Tibet or in Tibet. So it can be understood as both at or in. So in Tibet. So my home is in Tibet. Nye nang phe to yu. Kera nang kang to yu tam. Where is your home? And this particular particle, we have discussed that this is the interrogative particle, which makes a sentence into a question. So kera nang, and similarly this is a particle that's used at the end, which makes it, which is used more or less like the interrogative mark. But since this is a particle and not a punctuation mark, so and similarly, this is also an inquiry or interrogative particle. So, where is your home? Kerang kang to yutam, or kerang kinang kang to yutam. Both of them are correct. You can use the particle ki, or you can use it without particle ki. Both of them are correct. Kerang kinang kang to yutam, kerang nang kang to yutam. Nye nang phe to yu. Nye nang phe to yu. So my home is in Tibet. Another way of saying is Kerang kangne hongwar hinam. Kerang kangne hongwar hinam. Kerang kangne hongwar hinam. Which means where did you come from? Asking the origin. And when we say this, we don't mean to say where did you come from as in the context of where do you come from now. Where are you coming from? We're not asking that. What we mean is which place do we originate from? So, Kerang kangne hongwar hinam. Where did you come from? So the answer is nga phayu phene hongwar hin. Nga phayu phene hongwar hin. So I came from Tibet. So the thing is that yes, we use phayu, or we can directly say nga phene hongwar hin. So here we see that this is not mandatory. You can directly use the name of the country here because we don't have this particular word in the question, so we don't have to say this. But it's a preference. Some may use it, some may not use it. Nga phayu phene hongwar hin. Nga phayu phene hongwar hin. Nga phayu phene hongwar hin. I came from Tibet. Now, another way of asking where you come from is to ask from which village did you come from? Because in Tibet, people actually live in different villages. So therefore, it is a more of a common practice to ask someone's hometown by asking about their village. Kerang Trongpa Kangne Innam. Kerang Trongpa Kangne Innam. Kerang Trongpa Kangne Innam. So Trongpa means village. So they're asking, which village did you come from? Or which village are you from? Nga Trongpa Targe Guinis, which means Nga Trongpa Targe Guinis. Nga Trongpa Targe Guinis, which means I'm from Targe Gun, which is a name of a okay, so the difference between tham and nam is that tham always comes after tha, nam always comes after na. So it's how the particle forms. So if there is tha, it is tham. If it is na, it is nam. So tha, tham, na, nam. So ye, it has tha as a suffix, tham. In, it has na as a suffix, nam. So ye, tham, in, nam. Both are inquiry or question. That's the only difference is the letter that it follows. Lesson. So nga Trongpa Targe Gun means, which means I am from Targe Gun. So this is the village. So we see that there are different ways of asking where someone is from in Tibetan. You can ask for their fatherland, which is the hometown, or where they came from, the land, the country they came from. And then we can also say Lungba, but normally we don't say Lungba. Lungba, okay, let me just write it here. Kera Lungba Khani is this is not this is something that came instead of this, we usually say Yul, which means region. So instead of saying Lungba, we normally say Yul because, to be honest, Tibet was a very isolated place, you see, for a very long time. And the people that normally would meet each other were the people who lived in their neighboring villages, and they would meet for the village fair and things like this. And sometimes they would meet people while going on pilgrimage, and then they would talk about which region do you come from, but they would never tell which country are you from. So it's more like something that came after the exile. You see the usage of the Lungba, the country or thing, because then the people got more exposure towards the whole world thing, you know. So therefore, normally people would ask, which village are you from, if it's like a gathering of villages. If it's like going to a far away pilgrimage where you see people from different region, so you say, "Kena you kanes Trongpa, Trongsip." Yeah, it's the same. So let me give you another one. Not just Trongpa, Trongsip. We also have Trongcho. Now Trongcho is a little different. No, Trongcho is a little bigger than Trongpa. So it's a group of villages, Trongcho. So Trongpa, Trongsip, same. It's the same. So yeah, after this, let me also give, because today is Wednesday, so let me just give you some new words for you to learn. I'm sorry that it's too much to learn, but let me give you some new words that will help you definitely when we're talking about where did you come from. So I came from Tajikistan. So you may ask for someone's fatherland, you may ask for someone's home, you may ask it in a way that you're asking for where did someone came from, and then last you can ask for someone's village, and then you can know where they came from. So these are the different ways of actually asking someone where did they come from. Now okay, now we have these two particles. Last time we discussed hin and hin and re. Today we're going to discuss ye and tuk. Why we're discussing these? Because these are honestly some of the particles that are very complicated. It's confusing. Sometimes you feel like they do almost the same thing. So why do I have to use two different particles? It's just a unnecessary confusion. And this is something that I've heard from many of my students in my years of teaching them Tibetan. They have told me, "Oh, some of these particles, they exactly do the same thing. So why different?" And I say that no, they don't do the same thing. You have heard people using them in the same sentence, and that's their mistake. It's not because the particle is the same. It's because people are getting more used to using the same particle in every scenario, so it makes it easier. And yeah, they would say that, "Oh, but I've heard many people use it in that way," and I always used to say the same thing. I say that just because they're using it doesn't mean that, and also because they're native Tibetans doesn't mean that they have perfect grammar. You see, so they make mistakes, and sometimes obvious mistakes. So therefore, so the usage of ye and tuk. So you'll see from the very first distinguishing factor, one is a helping verb, whereas the other is a verb. It's an intransitive verb, but it's so in Tibetan we have a verb, so it becomes more technical there. The thing is that when we talk about action word, we have action word that belongs to the subject, and the action word that belongs to the object. So These are some distinctions that definitely further along the way we will get the opportunity to discuss these through some of the great classical texts. But in any case, one is a helping verb, so it's not even a primary verb, it's just a secondary helping verb. So lechi jetunba. Lechi is another way of saying chachik. So in Tibetan for verb, we have chachik, lechi, chavetsik. And another thing that you'll notice while I'm writing it down, you'll see that when the last letter is ka, you'll see me using this punctuation, but some prefer not to use it. And both of them are correct, actually. Some it's more like personal preference, but normally it's more common to not use it. And frightened to be more in the more cases we see that uh, people are actually using some other punctuations with ka at the end, which is absolutely not allowed to be used. So these are even more common. So there are cases where they just get it wrong completely. There are cases where they use that punctuation here, and then there are cases where they don't use it. And the ones who are using so the thing is that it's not very preferred to use it. And some of the text actually tells us that you shouldn't use it. But that text is also something that's more of a preference thing. It was never written in the main text, but different commentaries tells you that, no, you cannot use this. And then some commentary says, oh, you can use this. So it's more of a preference because it doesn't come up in the main text. But you have two variation, one where you use it after the ka, one where you don't use that dot after the ka. So here you see that so for verb we may say lechik, chachik, chavechik. So all of them are verb. Jetunpa means something that follows a verb. So something that's used with a verb, you know. So it's more of like a helping verb, a companion word. So it's more of a companion word. And those of you who are more technical in English, we call them as a so these are the first form of morphemes. We call them morphemes. So these are non-independent morphemes, meaning that they cannot be used by themselves. They have to be used with other words to make a complete meaning. Same with the particles. All of the particles are incomplete morphemes. So in the other case, we see that this actually is a verb, but it's not a transitive verb. Rather, it's an intransitive verb. So therefore, it's a complete morpheme by itself. So it has a meaning by itself. And what does it do? Both of them do the exact same thing. But the difference is one is a helping verb, other is an intransitive verb. So nebam yuebetu. Nebam yuebetu. So same. It tells us whether to have or to exist. Whereas in here it's to be present or to exist. So the difference is here it's to have, rather here it's to be present. So that's the difference. The second difference is leci de betsigro, leci tata betsigro. So this is a word that is used in past tense, whereas this is a word that's used in present tense. This can be used as a helping verb. So know that this can be used, though it's an intransitive verb by itself. In some cases, it can be used as a helping verb, and those cases are the cases in which it follows a particular verb. So if there is a verb, a primary verb that is in a sentence, then this acts as a helping verb. Whereas this irrelevant of existence, so here we have to say irrelevant, even though it's very misleading. It means that this will only be used as a helping verb, whereas this can be used as intransitive verb as well as helping verb. So we have two so the reason I gave same examples are to actually see where the difference comes from. So here we say So here we see that here it says students had been studying. So we see that it is in the past. So they had been studying in the past. So we see that this is in past tense. Whereas in here we see that it's in present tense. So the same sentence, only difference is here we have ye, here we have duk. And you see that my preference is with this, having this punctuation. It's just a preference. Some use it without this, so you can do either way. So, but the one I was saying that which was very common and a very big mistake is some use this punctuation, which is the straight line after ka, which is wrong, which is totally wrong. So penna, for example, students are studying. So here we see that this is present continuous, whereas this is past perfect continuous. So one is in the past tense, whereas one is in the present tense. So the difference is ye will be used as a helping verb after a verb. Here the verb is which means to study, or with the addition of xin, it becomes continuous. So which is students are studying. But with the addition of ye, it becomes past perfect continuous. And here with the addition of tuk, it becomes present continuous. So difference in the usage. Another example, so another thing that you will notice is that here I have used payata chasa che. Here I have used payata charang bocheta che. Payata charang bocheta che is the present spelling of to do something, and payata chasa che is the past spelling of to do something. So to do verb. So che is past and it is used with ye. Che is present and used with tuk. Similarly, Quran ki remo mangbo ti ye. So ti is the past tense. Quran ki remo mangbo ti tuk. Ti, oh, there is a kigu, so I have missed one more kigu here. So I will send the correct document to everyone. So very sorry for the missing kigu. So Quran ki remo mangbo ti, there is a kigu here. Ti tuk, which T is the present spelling of the word to draw. So Konan ki mangpo ti. He drew many drawings. With the usage of this year, it becomes past. Koran ki mangpo ti. He draws many drawings. So it's a present. It's a present simple. Sorry, present simple, and this is past simple. And it is not continuous because we don't have this particular particle shin. If we had shin, it would have been continuous. So this is the difference between ye and tuk. Ye, so first thing is ye is a helping verb. Tuk is an intransitive verb in most cases. Both of them show to exist. One shows to have, other shows to be present. And when used as a helping verb, ye is past tense, tuk is present tense. So this is the difference between these. So these and what I will do is I will send the honorifics of some words in the group for you to study. So there won't be much. I think 10 per week is not too much. So we will have 10. Thank you. So this is the correct one. So please download this one. Ellen has sent it to everyone. So I will be sending this I will be sending this honorific on the group so that everyone can learn. So there will be 10 each week. So I'll start with the parts of the body, like the head, the eyes, the nose, things like this, and then we'll move on with other words like food or things, so that we will be able to learn 10 honorifics each week. And then by the end of the entire course, we will have at least 300 to 400 words in honorifics that you will have in your inventory. Lasso, so questions. So any questions that you have, please ask away regarding today's lesson. Any questions regarding today's lesson?
Tenzila, can you repeat for the difference between to have and the last, yeah, to have and to be present? I think I'm not very clear about the difference between these two.
Lasso, so difference between to have and to be present, right?
Yes.
Lasso. Kola kangba shikdu. Sorry, kola kangba shiyu. Or we can say ngala kangba shiyu, which means I have a house. Tela kangba shikduk, which means a house exists there. A house is present there. And then we can say lobtra tela lobtru nishu yu. Lobtra tiru lobtru nishu yu. Let me just write it in the chat. Lobtra tiru lobtru nishu yu. Which means we have 20 students in this school. Lobcha deru lobchu nishu tuk. Which means there are 20 students present at the school. So when we say ye, it means possessing something, to have. When we say tuk, it's just acknowledgement that there are present here. So to be present or to exist or to have.
Okay. And what about the exist part, to exist? That's like common in both of them.
Yes, it's common in both of them. So we say that uh, if we say that gombe nalo kuyu, which means the gombe nalo kuyu means there is an idol in the monastery. Gombe nalo kutuk, there is an idol in the monastery. So in case of existing, both of them can be used in the same context. But when it comes to possessing, ye will always be with the first person. And it will be used with the first person, or it will be used if the thing that is related, the thing that someone is talking to is related to the first person, whereas tuk will be just an acknowledgement of someone possessing it. So normally we have in English, we have like we say like I have this, he has this. But in Tibetan, it's I possess this and I acknowledge that they have this, or it is present with them, you know. So kola kangba nitu, ngala kangba chik yue.
Okay. And if
Lasso.
it's not first person who possess it, let's say if it's a second person or a third person who possess something, then
So kola kangba ni yue is normally something that we see that is being used, but in the context, it should be kola kangba ni tuk.
okay.
So yeah, so it's more like when we say ye, it's saying that I possess. Whereas when we say duk, it's like more of an acknowledgement that someone else has it, or someone else, it's present with someone else, you know?
Mhm.
So So similarly, we can use this in a very common sentence, which says that when we say that if we say that I am sick uh, mm, with this disease, we say ngala nasa di yue, which means I am sick with this. But when we say someone else has that disease, we say hola nasa di tuk.
Okay.
Lasso,
Thank you.
lasso. Any other questions? Does anyone have questions regarding today's lesson?
Gela, I have a few questions.
Lasso.
I am sick. The ones that
Law.
we used to learn is managidu.
Nagitu, right?
Yes.
So here we see that, okay, wonderful. So thank you for bringing that sentence, because it is the example of the second case where it has nothing to do with present or exists, but it's being used as a helping verb. Nga, na, ki, nai, tu, right? Nga, nai, tuk. Here we see that na is actually the primary verb, isn't it? Na is to be sick, and it is the primary verb. But here, duk, duk is used as a helping verb. So this is a present tense sentence, which says that I am sick presently. So in the present tense, I'm sick. This is different from just using it as a intransitive verb, in which case we cannot say nga nahitu. We have to say nga la natsa di ye. Here, we see that natsa is a noun, and then the only the the only the only thing here is acting as a primary. Sorry, the primary verb, which it isn't. It's just a helping verb. But here we see that this helping verb is not something that is following a second, which is following another primary verb, right? We say that ngala natsa diyu. It's talking the actual word ye is the only verb that is present in that sentence. So that in that case, it will be used as to have or to possess. But when we say nga naitu, na itself is a verb. It's a primary verb, which means to feel sick. And in that case, duk will be used as a helping verb to show it is present. That's the only reason why it is used with the the first person pronoun.
Gela, another question would be, for example,
Yeah.
over here you gave students are studying, so if I were to say I am studying, so it's你录中解信读 or 解信阅.
So here we see that when it is with the context of the first person, is I have been studying. So I am continuously studying, right? This is not going to work here, because now this is the point where we have to say that this is a case where it actually doesn't work accordingly when we say that something is done by I, So when something is done by I, it doesn't matter it's present or past. It will have ye. It will never have tuk. But if it's a verb that is being carried out by either the second person or the third person, then we will have tuk. So in that case, definitely it will be ngalopjong cheshin ye.
Gela, would it be 你录中解记读解记阅? Is that possible?
Yes, ngalopjong chegi ye. Yes, ngalopjong chegi ye. So another way to actually understand this ye and duk is that ye is mainly telling someone, whereas duk is mainly acknowledging something. So this is one context that I have been thinking quite a lot when I'm using ye and duk. So you is most of the time you is more towards someone doing something or someone saying that I have something, or whereas duk is mostly in the context of acknowledging that something is being done or something is being done or acknowledge something is being present. So definitely for nga, it's a different case. When it comes to nga, it will always, even if it's present or past, it will have yu and not duk. Nga lobjong cheshin duk. It is not a correct sentence. Nga lobjong cheshin yu is the correct sentence. So there it's the another case. So it's like the special case where yes, where it doesn't matter if it's present or past, we use the word yu with nga when it comes to saying something is being done by the first person. Lasso and
Gela,
yes,
not
Lasso.
Gela, the
No.
is it for impersonal perspective, and yue is a personal perspective where it's done by self or our own experience. Then we use yue.
Very, very, very interesting question. Definitely, like I said, yu is most about a more personal, either it's experience or either it's saying that they possess something, right? So that is yu, whereas duk is more acknowledging something that is not something that someone possess or something that has to do with the first person. So duk is something we see that it has more to do with acknowledging something that is not of the same person, but of a different person than the one that is actually currently observing things. So definitely that is the case. So therefore, when I said yu is more about someone telling that they have something or they had something, or whereas duk is more like acknowledging. But the other thing is that the other thing is that when it comes to so therefore this is something that we will learn later. We will see that when we talk about things that are, because that will be a contradiction later on. Not now, but later on there will be some contradiction, because we already said that yu is used with past tense, whereas duk is used with present tense. And the problem will arise later where they say that past is something that is not personal, or something that is an object of a subject, whereas the present is the object of the subject. So there we will have a little bit of contradiction, but let's leave it for that time. But right now we can accept the fact that yu is more of a personal experience, whereas duk is just a acknowledgement of something happening. So I hope that this was made clear.
Again, final question for the
Lasso.
past tense.
Lasso.
Orangi rimo mangpo yu. So is this sentence this final yu preferable or dri pare?
You mean this, right?
Yes.
So here it's yu is preferable. Definitely yu is more preferable here. So we don't use re in this context. We use yu in this context. So this is saying that he has written or he drew many drawings. So so that would be that is more of an acknowledgement. So definitely here we will be using yu, because we can always say that that is also used as an acknowledgement. So another example for the same case would be if we say that, oh, he has won a lot of prize, we would say that Quran la chawta mangbo ra yu. Then there may be arguments saying that Quran la chawta mangbo ya ra wa re. We see that it is much better when we say yu, because it is something that's already been given, first thing. And second thing, it's something that has been made an observation by the person who is speaking. So by these two arguments, we will say that yu is much more preferable here rather than re.
If nga nagiduk is incorrect, what about tashila nagiduk?
Nga naitu is not incorrect. Nga naitu is correct. So the question was that I said that nga la natsa yu is a way to say that I'm sick with this disease, nga la natsa yu, and then nga naitu. So the question came because I said that yu is used with the first person, whereas tuk is mostly used with the second or the third person. And so the question came in that time is that, oh, in that case, we can say nga naitu. And I said, these two are two different cases. The first one is helping verb as to have or to exist, where we say that nga la natsa yu, where natsa and everything else is just pronoun and nouns, and there are no other primary verb in this particular situation. But in the second case, when we said nga naitu, here we see that there's already a noun here, na, which means to be sick and which is present tense. Therefore, we use tuk to make it present tense. So these were two different usage. One was to say I have this, other was to say I am sick, and both of these are correct. So tashila naitu is also correct. Lasso. So any other questions? Does anyone have any other questions? So let me ask a question. So this is just a very random question. So does anyone know the honorific of the word to be sick? Does anyone know the honorific of the word to be sick? So na. What is the honorific word of the word na? What do you mean? What do you mean by the word? What is the honorific of the word na? Does anyone have the honorific of the word na, to be sick? So this is just a random question. If anyone has the answer, please answer it, or you may just write it in the chat. Both of them are fine. So this is just a small quiz that. So it's a small quiz before we wrap up for the day. Na, to be sick. So the honorific of the word. Oh, okay, wonderful. So it's almost correct. The only thing is new. It's with ma and not nya. So new. So wonderful, Tiffany La. So just the ma, so it becomes new. Okay, so another question. What do you mean by so can anyone tell me how do I ask someone for their name in Tibetan? So how do I ask someone for their name? Using in a formal setting. So it's the question is how to ask for someone's name in a formal setting using honorific. So you may Lasso.
Yella,
Yes.
I want to talk to. Sorry.
So you want to answer, right?
Yes.
Lasso.
Kerang kerang di chen
Hmm?
kerang di chen là sare serpi.
Okay, so very close. Kirangitena Karishuki is a honorific, but then it is not formal. So it is very close. So let me see, someone has written. Very close, but not this. So we had discussed that it is Kirangite Sangbo Kaina. So Kirangite Sangbo Kaina. And another thing, we are going to refrain from using this particle. We're going to use this one. So no kare, only kangre. So kerangi chen sangbo kangina. So chen sangbo, which is good name, which is honorific plus formal, right? Okay, now I'm going to ask something, and I want someone to answer it. Okay.
Tanzila, before that,
Yes.
why not using dhare and why khangre?
Kare is a more casual colloquial particle,
Okay.
and kangre is more written language, so it's more towards written language, so therefore kangre. And
But
another interesting thing is kare is another way of writing kangre. So both are same. So it's just another way to write it. But we will stick to kang because kang is a particle where you're going to use again and again in grammar. So therefore kangre.
okay, okay.
That's so. So I'm going to ask something. So please answer back, whomever can answer it. So kerangi ngöming kangre. Kerangi ngöming kangre. Kerangi ngöming kangre. So who wants to answer this? Kerangi ngöming kangre. Kerangi ngöming kangre. So we already discussed this. So kerangi ngöming kangre.
What is your name?
Yes. So please answer this.
Oh. Nghe miếng là nghe miếng qua như serpi.
Nghe mình là
Nghe miếng là qua như serpi.
Lasso. Nghe mình là Wani Sigius. So this is correct. So therefore this is it for today. And please keep practicing and please using these in the group. I see some people are using the greetings, and thank you very much for that. And it helps a lot in practicing. And therefore, and those who have questions may ask it later on the group. I will answer them. And another announcement is that since it's now almost coming near, on the 5th of the October, we are going to, this class will continue as it is. So the new class will not change anything regarding this very class. This class will continue till the last week of December 2022. So this will be the same date, same day. It is supposed to be on Tuesday, but yesterday I had to go to attend a teaching, so therefore I couldn't because the teaching was going to take like the entire day, and it just gets over around 5:30. So I have to come back from there, from that monastery to my monastery. So it becomes too late till then. Therefore, I wasn't able to have class yesterday. So if there isn't any a particular case like that happening, it will always be on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, till the last week of December. Now, in October 5th, we're going to start another class, which is known as the commentary on the Tree of Excellent Speech, a classical grammatical text on Tibetan classical grammar. This will be happening on 5th of October. And if any one of you who have learned pretty much most of the basic and are able to speak, are able to read well, and are are ready to take on the classical Tibetan, then I welcome every one of you to that class. That class will be held, and the schedule will be released later, and a textbook will be provided for that class also, but it's on grammar. So those questions like difference between thum and num, questions like what's the difference, why is it ki here, why is it ki here, why is it he here, all of the usage of the grammatical particle will be taught there. And that class will be quite long. That class will probably be for 1.5 years, at least, I think so. So those who are interested may join that class also. So this is an announcement that I wanted to make. And please be more active in the group. This is a humble request to everyone. Those who wants to, I mean, till this point, we know how to ask for someone's name. We know how to say where I am from. We know how to give greetings. And next class, we're going to talk on more on introducing ourselves. So therefore, try to use these on daily basis on the group, because it's to be honest, it's like, I don't know in most cases, but sometimes it's difficult to just find someone speaking Tibetan next to you to just practice it, you know. So if that is not the case, you can just come in the group and then speak. I mean, voice messages are very appreciated, so that you can improve your pronunciation. So this is it for today, for our conversation class, and all of the materials are probably available on the